Well, students, good evening to all of you. So, guys, today we are going to discuss two philosophies, right? One is naturalism, and second one is existentialism, right? So, in our previous lecture, we are done with idealism, pragmatism, right? Two philosophies we have done. So, now today I am discussing the naturalism and existentialism according to your syllabus. So, first we discuss the naturalism, right? As you know that, okay, in every philosophy, what we do that first we discuss the meaning and history of that particular philosophy. Okay, second we do the major postulates or facts of that particular philosophy, right? Under the major facts, guys, you have to remember metaphysics, epistemology, and axiology. Okay, and third we do that educational implication, and under the educational implications again we do the three things. Number one is aims of education, curriculum, and method of teaching. Okay, last conclusion. Okay, instead of that, okay, in your guide I have seen that forms are given, so you don't have to learn that. Okay, you have to learn these things. So always, it is asked in the exams, either metaphysics, epistemology, or axiology, or educational implications. Okay, under this aims of education, curriculum, and method of teaching comes. Okay, guys, so we are going to start the naturalism. So, guys, naturalism, basically the founder of naturalism is a Jean-Jacques Rousseau, as you see on the slide, right? So, according to this philosophy, the basis of the world is matter. Matter. Naturalist thinks that everything has originated from the matter. Nothing is beyond the matter and behind the matter. Everything starts with the matter and ends in the matter. So, according to this philosophy, the basis of the world is matter. Okay. And mind is also a form of matter, or an element of a matter, or synthesis of both. According to the naturalism, the only nature is everything. Nothing is before and beyond it. Naturalists do not have any faith in God or divine spirit or any super spirit, right? They apply natural laws to the whole human experience. In short, guys, dear students, naturalism means belief in the nature and return to the nature. According to them, according to the naturalism, there is nothing beyond nature, behind nature, and other than nature. Okay. Now, okay, in short, we can say that they believe in the nature only, right? Jean-Jacques Rousseau. This is the important name. You must remember. Okay. Who is the founder of idealism? Plato. Right? Pragmatism, Charles Sanders Peirce. Okay. Right? And naturalism, who is the founder of a naturalism? Jean-Jacques Rousseau. So he was the father of the naturalist philosophy. Naturalism is also termed as materialism. Right? According to this philosophy, there is nothing beyond nature, behind nature, and other than nature. Comenius Omeaic, he is a naturalist, and according to the Comenius, he said one should live in a nature and with nature in the first 7 years of life. What he says that when the baby born, at least first 7 year of a life, he should be, familiar with the nature. Okay. So now we do the little bit history of naturalism, so that concept of a naturalism will come to know more and more, right? So we do little bit history also. So Democritus, these are all naturalists. Okay, what the Democritus has said? Democritus has said living in the company of the nature provides one of the best experience. He's also talking about naturalism. Okay, and what the Epicurus has said? He said away from the humdrum of life, humdrum of city life, and in the company of the nature is the finest experience. Means people should live in the countryside rather than cities. In cities, now there is a lot of noise and these things. So he said that Epicurus said that away from the humdrum of the city life and in the company of the nature is the finest experience. Means people should live in the countryside rather than city. Okay. Next, Comenius, he has already we done. One should live in the nature and with nature in the first 7 years of life. And what the Jean-Jacques Rousseau has said, he said, first 7 years of life is the age of nature. So guys, it is according to the naturalism, it is wrong practice. It is a negative education when we put our baby into the education system at a very, 3 years old or 4 years old. Okay. So according to the naturalism, first 7 years of a life, he should be familiar with the nature, right? So first 7 years of a life, this is the age of a nature. Means according to the Jean-Jacques Rousseau, let the baby learn from the nature, right? In the very first 7 years of a life. And Jean-Jacques Rousseau, again, this is important, see that. He said, this is a negative education. Okay, when we put our baby into the 3 years, 4 years into the education system, this is called, according to the Jean-Jacques Rousseau, this is the negative education. He said that let the somos be developed. जो somos called the brain muscles, guys, right? He said that during the 2 or 3 years of age, somos are developing, inside the brain of the child. So there is a lot of billions of connections, right? Developing. So what happened? In a 3 years of old, when he or she gets 3 years old, we put in the education system and start putting any formal lesson in the mind of the student, in the mind of the baby. Anna, you have seen that. Our baby is a 3 years old, 4-year-old. Okay. And we call them, okay, please, tell me about any poem. Okay. And any song, anything, any of the formal activities. So basically what we are doing that, Jean-Jacques Rousseau has said that when we put the formal lesson, in the mind of the baby during the first 3-4 years of a life, so basically we are breaking those connections, right? So it affects on the development of the baby in the later stage. So let the baby learn from the nature during the 7 years of a life. That's why he said it is the age of the nature, and that's why he called the negative education when we put our baby into the education system during the 3 or 4 years, right? So guys, do you know that LKG, MKG or LKG, UKG, MKG system, how it developed? It is by the, naturalism we have got. Who is the person, who is the, who developed this, system LKG, MKG and UKG? Froebel. You have to remember. Froebel, he was also a naturalist. He gave this concept. This is called the, you can say that the, before putting into the education system, okay, this is the, these are the classes where, baby would come to learn a lot of things. So that's why, if you read the, new education policy, and under the new education policy, do you know that up to the class 1 and 2, there is no exam. Baby is to all the, children would be promoted. Basically, exam system starts from the, third in the third class, when the baby enters in the third class, right? So this is a little bit history and meaning. We have come to know about the, naturalism. Further, now we talk about what are the fundamental principles of a naturalism, right? So according to the naturalism, they say that this universe is a huge machine. This universe is huge machine. And what is the role of a man? Man is also a part of this machine and a complete machine in himself also. And they affirm that life comes out of a dead matter and is the sum total of the physical and chemical reactions. Man, because of his own nature, is the supreme creation of nature. The present life is the real life. Reality is of external nature only. unchanging laws of nature explain all the events and occurrences in the world. So these are the fundamental principles of a naturalism, right? So according to them, life comes from the dead matter. Universe is the huge machine. We are the part of this machine and the complete machine in itself. Reality is of the external nature, right? But guys, when you are doing the naturalism, now you have to compare the naturalism with the idealism and pragmatism, right? So according to the pragmatism, there is a ultimate reality. What they are saying that the present life is the real life. Reality is external. Okay. So from that way, you will learn. Okay. So now we come to the major facts of the naturalism. Under the major facts or belief, you know that we do the three things: metaphysics, which is a theory of reality; number second, epistemology, which is a theory of knowledge; and third is axiology, which is a theory of values. Okay, means according to the reality, according to the naturalism. Knowledge, from where we get the knowledge, according to the naturalism. From where we get the values, according to the naturalism. So now first we do that metaphysics, right, which is a theory of reality according to the naturalism. So as you know that naturalists believe in the reality of the matter, and they affirm that nature is a matrix. Do you know that the matrix, 2 by 2 matrix? So there are 4 boxes. 3 by 3 matrix, there are 9 boxes. So they believe that nature is a matrix in which all reality lies. It is a matrix in which all the reality lies. In each cell means box. If the 3 by 3 matrix, to 9 boxes or cell, in each cell of the matrix, reality lies. And about the God and religion, what philosophy they have, naturalists believe in the reality of nature. God is a supernatural. That's why they don't believe in any supernatural reality, and they don't believe on the existence of God. Naturalist God is within the nature. They believe that nature is a God. They don't believe any super reality and other things, right? The concept of self. The concept of self. Naturalists are not much interested in the concept of a soul of man. The human self is seen by the naturalism as a result of nature. According to them, man is the child of a nature. In the evolutionary process, there have been a work in the universe so far. So basically, guys, according metaphysics, according to the naturalism, everything comes from the nature, right? Comes from the matter, right? And even the God is also a they believe in the nature is a God. They believe the naturalist God, and they don't have any so much interest in the reality of a soul and others. They don't discuss. They believe that everything is a result of the nature. Okay. Metaphysics. Now epistemology means knowledge, from where the knowledge comes according to the naturalism. So in this theory of knowledge, naturalism highlights the value of a scientific knowledge. Very good. Through specific observation, tour and travel. Most important. So naturalism believes that we get the knowledge through observation. We get the knowledge through tours and travels. Okay. So, when we keenly observe the nature, here I give you one example. Okay. He says that when you keenly observe the nature, how the water is coming from the mountains. Okay, sun is every day, sun is in his own pace. Okay, he sets and again he starts. Everything, it is a, you can say that it is already fixed in the nature. Okay, when you keenly observe the nature, you will get the knowledge. You will see that everything is happening according to the nature. And the more you will do the tour and travel, the more knowledge you will get. And you will get the knowledge through scientific knowledge, specific observation. Okay. And jabki, instead of that, what the idealism has said, that idealism said that we get the knowledge through the, everything from the idea, from the, reasoning. Huh? They believe further, they believe by exploring nature, we get knowledge. So they believe that we have, when the more we will explore the nature, we will get the knowledge. It also lays emphasis on the empirical and experimental knowledge, right? Empirical means having the evidences, and experimental, right? So they believe in this. Next, we talk about the axiology, from where we get the values. Okay, so according to them, there is no absolute good or evil in the world. Values of a life are created by the human needs and conditions of life, because need conditions go on changing. Hence, values are subjective and relative. Okay, so guys, once you compare the isms with the other isms, then you will come to know more grip on the particular ism. अब ये देखो, according to the values, what the idealism has said, that values are eternal, values are unchangeable. But what the naturalism has said, values of lives are created by the human beings, means values are subjective and relative. We create the values, right? So this is all about major facts of the naturalism. Now, in the next, we talk about educational implications. And you know that under the educational implications, we again do the three things: aims of education according to the naturalism, curriculum according to the naturalism, and methods of teaching according to the naturalism. So first we do the aims of education, the self-expression. Guys, ye cheezon ko you don't have to forget, right? This is the important. So when we talk about the aims of education of idealism, so then the first point should come in your mind: self-realization. Anna, please remember. So here, aims of education according to the naturalism is self-expression. Let the baby learn from the nature. Okay, do not put any formal education. Do not put into the mind of the baby. Teacher is like a facilitator. Okay, so you have to only, stimulate the baby, to let the baby make the, he's when baby makes the, you know uh, houses, huts with the sand and with the other things, you have seen that. So self expression is a, education should be like that. There should be a more and more freedom. Okay, let the student be spoken, right? Child centered. Second is the child centered. Education should be the child centered. It should not be the teacher centered. Being teacher, you have to teach to the student according to the mental level of the student, according to the interest of the student, according to the attitude, aptitude of the student. Not you have to show your knowledge to the student, to the children, right? So according to the naturalism, education should be the child centered. Child should be the hero of the drama. Everything starts from the child and ends with the child. Okay, you have to just see that how they are, growing, right? You just help it, nothing else. Okay, you don't have to put, your things into the mind of the baby. Freedom of the child, ye dekhiye, next point is freedom of the child. You have to give more and more freedom of the child. Classroom should be a democratic type, right? Do not try to make the student as you wish. Okay, let the baby be made, okay, whatever he wants to be, right? Adjustment to the environment. Try to adjust with the environment. If the things do not, what the Shakespeare has said, if the things do not turn out as you wish, you should wish for the things as they turn out. So adjustment to the environment, progressive and preparation for a struggle of life. So education should be like that, right? Now we talk about curriculum. Syllabus kaisa hona chahiye? What should be the contents of the study according to the naturalism? So according to the naturalism, there should no rigid curriculum. Naturalism does not advocate any rigid or a fixed type of a curriculum. Child learns best in a natural setting, and nature is a grand book. priority to the physical sciences. ये देखिए, I have written, they emphasize on the study of a idealistic, emphasize study on the humanities, but naturalists believe in the science subject. According to the naturalism, they give priority to the science subject, physics, chemistry, zoology, botany, right? Because it's all related with the nature, right? They also give due importance to the mathematics and language also. Okay, now third, method of teaching. So according to the naturalism, observation method. So guys, you have to, learn the isms. According to that, you have to deduce the educational implications, and you have to think yourself. You should be the naturalist. You don't have to just pass your exam. It is not. You have to learn it, and you have to make according to them. Are you getting my point? Because everything is in our education system. Everything. You have done the idealism. We have discussed the idealism. Huh? Last lecture we finished the pragmatism. Now today we have finished the naturalism, and now think yourself. Okay, think. Okay, when you go into the school, your school, your school starts with. Please tell me, your school starts with prayer. There's a prayer, na? So prayer means idealism has come. Okay, and when after the prayer, what happens? Your school system starts. First lecture, second lecture, third lectures. Okay, you take the science lectures, mathematics lectures, maths lectures. Because what happens after the break, students feels little bit lazy. Okay, that's why when you are teaching the such kind of a subjects, so you are using the pragmatism. And in every class, okay, you go with the students with the tours and trips, so you are using the naturalism, right? So everything has come from, every ism exists in our education system. Okay, we can't say that only the one ism is the best from the other. Okay, from one ism we get important information, some other important information we get from the other isms. Okay, so all are it is a reflections of our education system. All the methods, all the curriculum, everything has come after that, knowledge of these isms, guys. Are you getting my point? A new education policy, who made the new education policy? Kasturi Rangan, right? So, and he doesn't make by himself. He has taken the feedback from many of the teachers, okay, many of the other persons. So, and that's why we have made a very very good new education policy. And in our education policies, all the isms are reflecting. All the isms are reflecting, right? So method of teaching, how should be the method of teaching according to the naturalism? Observation method, experimental method, playway method, heuristic method, learning by experience, right? All we are done, huh? All these methods are the self-learning method, and as such that they are very effective and purposeful. So basically, naturalism, what the naturalism, from the naturalism we learn from the naturalism. So there should be a self-expression. The education should be the child-centered. Okay, but what was in the idealism? There was much importance was given to the teacher. Under the idealism, the education system was the teacher-centered, right? So according to the naturalism, we have to teach according to the need, interest, attitude, aptitude of the child, right? According to the mental level of the child. So these all the methods are the methods according to the naturalism. So we are done with the naturalism. Okay. So again, further we start the another philosophy, which is the existentialism. So guys, till now we are done with idealism, pragmatism, naturalism, and fourth philosophy we are doing the existentialism, right? After that, I think Western School of Education philosophy would be finished, and I'll see the syllabus. If anyone is left, so we will cover in the next lecture. Okay, don't worry. So what is the existentialism? So in the same way we have done the naturalism, we will cover the existentialism. First, meaning and history of existentialism, major facts. Under the major facts, metaphysics, epistemology, and axiology. And under the educational implication, we'll do the aims of education, curriculum, and method of teaching. Right? Existentialism का founder कौन था? Who was the founder of existentialism? You have to remember Kierkegaard. Right? So according to the existentialism, in this philosophy, emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and choice. As the name of the philosophy, existentialism. So in this philosophy, they emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and choice. No idealism, no naturalism, no pragmatism. Okay, they are giving more and more importance to the individual existence. Got it? So it is the view that humans define their own meaning in life and try to make rational decision. So Kierkegaard, who is regarded as a founder of the existentialism, he said that each individual person is a unique and inexplicable, which can't be explained in the terms of any metaphysical or a scientific system. So this is a different from the idealism and pragmatism and naturalism. Right, guys? So he has cleared. I again, read that each individual person is a unique and inexplicable, which can't be explained in terms of any metaphysical or scientific system. It is the individual who thinks and he is free to make any choices in his life or future. Right? So from this definition, Hana, you have come to know that they are giving more and more importance to the human existence. Right? So according to the Sartre is another existentialist. He said that man's existence precedes essence. Man's existence precedes essence. Well, first man exists. Okay. So a little bit history and meaning. So what the Kierkegaard has said, Anna, we are done it. Second, Sartre, man's existence precedes essence. It means man first of all exists, turns up, appears on the scene, and only afterwards define himself. And Heidegger, it is a big name of the existentialism. Heidegger. What the Heidegger has said? Heidegger has said, essence of a man lies in the existence. In exist, to be or not to be is a decisive importance. Now we do the major facts. Under the major belief or effect, metaphysics, epistemology, and axiology, we do that. According to the existentialism, what is theory of reality? According to the existentialism, what is a theory of knowledge? And according to the existentialism, what is a theory of values, right? So now we do the metaphysics. What they do, theory of reality, from where the reality comes, what is reality according to the existentialism. So reality is being or existence of an individual. There is no ultimate reality. Guys, please mark this line. Mark this line. There is no ultimate reality. So what you are remembering? It is totally opposed to the idealism. Idealism said that there is an ultimate reality, eternal reality, unchanging reality. There is a fixed reality. And what they have said, there is no ultimate reality. Word. Okay. According to the, what they say about to the word. What is word basically? So according to the existentialism, the word is a absurd. It is a silly thing. It is a strange. Because each person word as well as each person's own identity is the product of that person's own choice. Means a person's word is what person chooses it to be. So according to the existentialism, word kya cheez hai? Word, a person word is what person chooses it to be. Hence, in existentialism, reality is different for each individual. Okay, guys? So God, they don't exist on God. According to them, God does not exist. God is either not all good, not all powerful, not all knowing, or doesn't exist. Right? According to the existentialism theory of reality. Now, from where we get the knowledge, according to the existentialism. So they say that they having the belief, they firm belief that there was no knowledge before the existence of man, and there will be no knowledge after him. All he knows it by choices. The point of his choice is the key choice. According to the existentialism, knowledge originates in and is composed of what exists in the individual's consciousness and feeling. Because they are giving more importance to the individual existence now. That's why they say that knowledge we get from the individual consciousness and feeling, and every person is different from the other person, right? So it happens as a result of his experience and projects he adopts in the courses of his life. Self knowledge is the key to all knowledge. What the idealism has said, mind is the gateway of the all knowledge, right? Thus knowledge depends on our feeling and situation, and real knowledge is that which satisfies human needs. Next, we talk about axiology or theory of values. So according to them, man creates his own values, right? So similarly, your values are, according to the, naturalism also says that, na, we create the values, है ना? So the same way, theory of values, according to the existentialism, man creates his own values. In existentialism, value is a relative, subjective and personal. उन्होंने क्या बोला था naturalism ने, value is relative and subjective, but here one thing has added personal. Okay, so this is the important. It is the person who is interested in things that value it. Values emerge from the freely chosen acts of a man. He freely chooses what is good for him. Nobody ever chooses what is bad knowingly. Before he makes his choice, he considers all the possible factors and then decides on what to choose by himself according to his conscience. This means person is, individual is fully responsible for his action and for his choice. Okay, so I think you have got it, because every person has its own word, own feeling, own emotions. वही उसके लिए reality है. So if the world is according to the emotions and according to his choices, so then that particular person is responsible for his action and for his choice. Right, guys? Next, we talk about educational implications. So under the educational implications, you know that we do the three things: aims of education, curriculum, and methods of teaching, right? So according to the existentialism, what would be the aims of education? How the education should be? Full development of the personality. So what they are saying, that there should be the full development of a personality. And according to the naturalism, what was the aims of education? Self-expression. And according to the idealism, self-realization. Right? From that way, guys, you have to learn. Okay, so these are very important philosophy. One should know, right? After that, I think one is left. Okay, we'll do that. Then we'll start the Indian school of education. Okay, this is all Western school of education, right? So under the Indian school of education, we'll do the Sankhya and we'll do the Vedanta, right? All the philosophy we'll do that, right? So we learn all the things from. That's why it is said that if the teacher is not a philosopher, he can't teach. He can't teach. So you have to become the philosopher. You should know the philosophy of each ism. Okay, what they say that. You should know the school of thought. What the, existentialism school of a thought says. What the, naturalism school of a thought says. You should know that. You should have the knowledge of it. Right? That's why Rabindranath Tagore has said, teacher should be a philosopher, friend, philosopher, and guide. So full development of personality, enrichment of mind, leading a good life, making a man subjective, preserving freedom of man. So because of that, they believe in the, individual existence. So for the personality of the individual existence, so they are saying that education should be a such type, there should be a, a full, a complete development of the personality of the individual, right? So there should be enrichment of the mind, preserving freedom of a mind, man, right? So education should be like that according to the existentialism. Now we talk about the curriculum. Subjects like science and mathematics make us so much objective that our relation with self is broken. This is an important line, guys. Very important line. I repeat, subjects like science and mathematics makes us so much objective that our relation with self is broken. Existentialism talks about the individual existence, but when we talk about more indulge in the science and mathematics, we are talking about the, we break our connection with the self. So that's why, according to the existentialism, by learning science, there is a sort of a inner misleading and no peace. That's why they want that they give priority to the humanities subject. So according to the existentialism, the content of the education, the subject of the education should be the religious subject, like art, literature, poetry, drama, novels. Okay. Later on, they give little importance to the physical sciences. Okay. So these subjects should give first priority and later on the physical sciences. And physical sciences should not be taught with a view to extreme specialization, right? Since the existentialism believe in the individual's freedom, they do not advocate any rigid curriculum. It should be designed according to the learner's need, right? I think it was easy, Hana. You have come to know that. So they give priority to the humanities subject, okay? Because from science and math specialization in these languages and others now, so they think that the relation with the self is broken, right? So method of teaching, how should be the method of teaching, how the teacher should be taught to the students? According to the existentialism, there should be a dialogue method. अब ये देखो learner centered method, है ना? Do you know that the method's name? So we get all these through this philosophy, guys. Of many years before, in the Athens, uh, Aristotle, used to teach to his students many new methods and others, right? So that's why now values and education system of India is a very rich. Even the foreigners, NRIs, they are putting up in the Canada and America, guys. Why they say that their children should get the education from the India? So individualized teaching method, individualized. So existentialism, according to the existentialism, this method, individualized teaching method, is the most important. Why? Because here the teacher plays a very important part. Because of this, the teacher occupies a special position of importance in the education of the child. He has to know the individual differences of the different children and be able to teach each child as though he is teaching him or her alone, right? So it doesn't mean he is dominating the class. Okay, try to learn, right? Individualized teaching method means teacher should, when he has to teach to the student, and students are the different, because we know that the reality of the each person is a different from the other persons according to the existentialism. That's why he has said that when the teacher will teach to the student, he has to know the individual differences of the different children and be able to teach each child as though he is teaching him or her alone, right? So dialogue method, learner centered method, individualized teaching method. So from these methods, the teacher should teach according to the existentialism. So thank you so much, guys, right, for these two isms. So today we are done with naturalism and existentialism, right? And earlier we have already done idealism and pragmatism, right? So soon we'll start our, Indian School of Education. So thank you so much, guys, once again.
Thank you, sir.